First of all, I do just want to say thank you so much to every single human being in this room right now. It's absolutely incredible to be a part of this event. Like Miss Mary Grace just mentioned, my dad was a huge name in the advocacy community. I could not be more proud to be his daughter. I think about that every second of every day. I do have a couple of things written down just because I want to make sure I cover all my bases and hit every point I wanted to make. But like she said, my name is Jordan Kvarda. I'm 17. I go to North Creek High School in Bothell. Pretty normal, average teenager. But I did not have the most normal childhood ever. My dad was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's when I was 10 years old. I was in 6th grade at the time. I distinctly remember getting a text from my mom, and all it said was, "Dad has Alzheimer's, period." Keep in mind, I'm 10. I don't even know how to spell Alzheimer's. So it was really rough. I honestly don't think the hurt really set in until later, but it was mostly just confusion for a really long portion of my life. I have a couple of statistics that I want to share. This was something I did for an AP psychology project last year, and I thought it would be good to share today. So I think we are all super familiar with this. Alzheimer's and dementia is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. I'm pretty sure almost every single person in this room has heard that before. Of these 7 million plus diagnosed cases, 75,393 will die from those dementia causes. 77% of these patients will have children that they leave behind. Most of these children will be in their 50s and 60s, but 5% of them will be adolescents or teenagers. Unfortunately, that is where I was left. Of these 977 teens left, 78 of them will have a diagnosed behavioral disorder by age 16 that will be a danger to themselves or those around them. Of these 78, 13 of them will resort to self-harm. Of these 13, 1 to 2 have a 100% chance of death by suicide by the age of 18. I know this is a really sobering statistic to share right now, and it doesn't seem super relevant, but the point of sharing this today is that there is so much connection between teen mental health and early onset Alzheimer's that I don't think is talked about nearly enough, purely because I don't think we realize that it affects a lot more people in younger generations than we realize, because I know especially for me, like as I started learning more like what Alzheimer's is, what dementia is, I was like, oh, this is like something that pertains more to older generations of people. Like, why is this something that is entering my life right now? Because there purely is just not as much research, not as much advocacy, not as much of any of these things. So I guess what I want to say today is understand that it affects a much larger demographic of people than we realize. It's not just the elderly, it's not just one specific group, it is quite literally something that we interact with so much more on a daily basis than we realize. I grew up explaining to people, when people say like, oh, what do your parents do? What are your parents' jobs, or whatever? I say, oh, my dad used to be an engineer. They say, oh, what do you mean used to? I say, oh, he has Alzheimer's. They look at me with this weird, confused face. It's like, oh, how old is he? I'm like, oh, he got diagnosed when he was 50. And just the shock on people's faces is like imprinted into my brain now, because it's just not something that people realize happens to people my age. It's always kind of scary to tell people like, oh yeah, my dad died when I was 16. People expect it to be like, just something happened, like car crash, other illness, whatever, and say no, it's Alzheimer's. Again, not really something that people believe happens to people in my age group. So what I do want to, I guess, leave people with is that while focusing on making that existence better for the patient should always be #1 priority, it's also about saving that 1% that's occupied by that one teenager. At the end of all those statistics, it's about saving that life too. And speaking from someone who hasn't necessarily, thank you, had the cleanest journey with mental health ever because of all of these things, I wish that someone had told me, I see you, I love you, you're not alone. It's not just you, even though it really feels like it sometimes. And I also just want to spread this message that to everyone in this room, I see you, I love you, it's not just you, and you're so much more than enough. And thank you so much for being here.